Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do a mid-month wrap-up here for September. I'm not saying I read like way too many books to do a wrap-up at the end of the month, but I know it would be over a half hour if I waited. So we're going to try to do this a little faster, and by splitting them up, I found this format has worked out so far in the last couple months. I think that I'll continue to do this, unless you think I should go to weekly wrap-ups. I mean, maybe that's the more thing to do. I don't read all that many books, like if you count them like by week, but in a 2-week span I did finish 6 things, and I'm gonna probably DNF the 7th, so you can let me know if that's the way I should go. Anyway, so the first book that I got was from the library, and it was and I finished it, was Simon R. Green's Death Shall Come, which is number 4 in the Ishmael Jones series, the Country Manor Mystery series. Anyway, it's a really fun romp. These are short novels that talk about Ishmael Jones, who he and his partner Peggy go to these manors in England and pretty much solve supernatural mysteries, and they're just cute and fun, and I mean, not cute and fun, I mean, they're just fun little rides. Like, it's just, they always make me happy, and I just read them as fast as I possibly can. So anyway, I get them from the library because they're very expensive hardbacks and I don't want to pay for them. So, but I really enjoy those. And again, that's one of the series that I am keeping up to date on with him. Again, I need to get back to the Druid series, but I really enjoy that one. And I would recommend it if you like kind of weird, quirky ones. I just love it. The Dark Side of the Road, I think, is the first book in that series. Then I got to do a reread for my book club. We picked Midnight Riot by Ben Aaronovitch. This is the first in the Peter Grant series. It's an urban fantasy London constable who finds out magic is real, and he becomes an apprentice. And I really enjoy these books. They're just so much fun. Peter is just a great narrator for the story. He is hilarious. I mean, he's just a typical, 20s 20-year-old, he's in his 20s, and he's just funny, and he's just, and likes all the girls. Anyway, but he's just not all that good with them. Anyway, he's so funny. I love him. And the magic system is great, and I like the history of, that magic's been around, but it's hidden kind of thing. That's always one of my favorite things with urban fantasies. I like it where there's a hidden world kind of thing. So it's just, these are really good. I bought this used when it, like, around the time they first came out, back in 2012, I think, and I have read this at least 3 or 4 times. So this is definitely a reread. I did enjoy it for our club, and we talked about it, and so after I finished this, I went on and read Moon Over Soho, which is the second book in the series. I had also read this one back when I got these used, back in 2012, but I don't think I read them back to back. I think I read them, a couple books in between them. I had not liked this one quite as well, except I liked the end really well, but I really liked it this second time around. I caught so many more things this time, so I was really excited because I was like, oh, I didn't catch that, and it was really good. So I don't know if I read it too fast last time or what. Anyway, or I'm just paying more attention now because I'm here on BookTube. I don't think so, because I was an English major, so I just think I must have missed some things the first time around. I don't know if I was reading it too fast or not. So I really enjoyed this. Again, the magic system grows, the characters, a lot of returning characters from the first book, and then you added and you get a few more good ones from in here. I really enjoyed the cast of characters growing in this series. And so then, and I also picked up the third book. So this was not a reread. This is the first time I've read this book. So now I can continue on with this series. I have had these on my shelf. I think I have up to book 6, and I keep collecting them because I really like them, the first 2 books. So I'm glad I'm going to continue on with the series. This is Whiskers Underground, which is number 3 in the series, and I really enjoyed this one. And I'm looking forward to picking up number 4, Broken Homes, but I'm going to wait probably a couple more weeks, probably into October before I do it. And I'm hoping to hit 1 book a month until the end of the month, so end of the year, so that I finish out the series to the point he's written. Because I remember I have those graphic novels that fit somewhere in between 5 and 6 that I can't read until I catch up on the novels. So anyway, so if you like urban fantasies at all, if you like any of them that are kind of police procedural, but again, twist because there's magic involved. I would recommend these. These are some of the fun ones. I mean, again, the main character is just hilarious. I laugh through these, so they're really great, and I'm looking forward to reading more of these. Then I I picked up a book from the library, and it was one of those ones where you, like, I went in there to pick up a book that I'd asked for, which again, I was supposed to not go in there, but this was on those, that bestseller section where you only get them for 14 days, so you have to read them fast if you take them. And it was one I'd seen on, I think, Kendra Winchester's channel, and I'll link her down below on, I think it's one of her September hauls, and or the September haul, I'm not sure, but I saw it on there, and I thought it was interesting because it's called The Midnight at the Bright Ideas Bookstore. Now, I've already returned it to the library, which is, again, why I'm using this. I want to say I enjoyed it, but I don't think I did. I think it was fun in a certain way. Like, I like the thriller aspects of it. There was some really horrific things that happened to some of these characters, and I think that was the part that was compelling, and I wanted to know more about that. And then I also liked how one of the characters... well, he damaged some books, but I thought it was a good vehicle within the story. I don't know what that was. That was a pounding. Anyway, so, and then the cats go. Sorry. Oh, I just lost it. Sorry. So, one of the characters uses the books, and he does something to them that makes the book go fast because of the certain pages that has only these little writing on them. What was the other thing I was going to say? So, what I didn't like is the main character. Now, I think she was just, to me, very bland, and I know horrific things happened to her, and I felt sympathy for a lot of things she went through, but I felt some of her decisions in the book itself, and I will say definitely close to the end, upset me, that I'm like, why did you do that? Like, I don't understand. Like, it just didn't make sense. So I came away from the book going, you know, that was almost a waste of time. Like, again, it was a really quick read. I think there are some good elements in it, but I also guessed every mystery, like every answer to every mystery throughout the whole thing. Only one twist did I not catch. Like, everything else I knew early on. I guessed it. That was exactly my mind went, oh, yeah. That's probably what's going to happen. And I just want to see how it was executed, and I think Matthew Sullivan, this is his first novel, so, I mean, I think there was some good stuff in here. I think there's potential to grow. I'm just not sure if I'll pick up another book by him at this point. I mean, I'd have to see what the premise was, but as I said, I gave it a 3, but it was, like, kind of clinging to the 3. Like, I would say it was more closer to the okay, and this is kind of, there was a few things I liked, but not enough to really love it. I also listened to an audiobook in my car this month so far, and that was Ancillary Justice by Leckie. This is one of the picks for my Sci-Fi September TBR that I'm trying to do. So I read this back when it first came out, and I really wanted to reread it and then get the next book. So I really wanted to finish out the series, and I just hadn't got around to it. So I listened to that in my car. I did get the physical copy also from my library because I was marking every night how far I got. Not because I was counting pages, because I don't count this, and anything that I've reread within the last 15 years I don't count, except for, you know, as I said, there's a couple exceptions when I really don't remember the book at all. But these books, like, I remember parts of it, so I count them as rereads. I don't count them as pages for my month. So when I do my wrap up at the end of the month, there won't be, this will not be included in those pages, like Midnight Riot and Moon over Soho. Those are not going to count. But I really enjoyed this, and I had forgotten a whole lot about it. It'd been, you know, since this came out, I think is 2014, I think so. But anyway, and I really enjoyed this. Again, this is a science fiction novel about Breck, who is the last remaining ancillary that off of the Justice Zatoran spaceship that was destroyed at some point, and she's out for revenge against the people in charge anyway, or who she blames for what happened. So it was, as I said, I really enjoyed the reread, listening to it on audiobook. So I finished this. So I did finish that. So And then a book that I think is going to be a DNF. I've really tried hard to read this story, and I wanted to like it, but I also had a feeling I wasn't going to, and I didn't know why, but I'm not liking it. And that is The Sparrow by Mary Dora Russell. Now, this is kind of a sci-fi book. It talks about you know, we're contacted by aliens, and then they send crews out to go visit the planet. And I didn't know really what it was about. I knew it was about aliens, but there's no description on this book, so I was like, I kind of went into it blind. And I did not realize there was going to be so much religion involved in this. And I'm not a huge fan of that. Just I don't know. I mean, I'm not like against it. I just meant I wasn't expecting it. I think that was my problem. But still, even with all that, I dove into this, and I was really surprised. I really liked the beginning. I really got into it. I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting, because it has a present storyline and then a past storyline, and everything goes wrong and only one guy survives. And so everybody wants to know what happened, and he's not out for telling what's going on because it was horrific. And I kind of want to know what happens, but I got to 174 pages, and I am just like, I don't care anymore. And I think part of it is that she sprinkles some of the hints in the present line for the past, and I always hate that. I hate being told something that's going to happen, or, I mean, hints are okay. I guess it was just, there was a couple of those, you know, oh, but, you know, if he had known kind of thing. And I was surprised that when I came across one of the two of those, and I was not happy. Mostly it's just, I'm losing interest. And I said, I already read, in the last couple days, I've read 174 pages, and I really enjoyed it up to this point. So I don't know. This was my TBR jar pick from July. Told myself I had to read this. We were supposed to have read this earlier this year for my book club, and I didn't get this book in time, and I just didn't go to the meeting because I didn't know anything about it, so I didn't go. And I probably should have just gone, and then I would know not to read it. I don't know. I just don't, I think I'm going to be DNFing this. And so if you guys have read The Sparrow, what do you think? I've heard a lot of other people saying how great it is and how much they enjoyed it when, you know, like they give this book out to people. And I'm like, why? Like, I don't get it. I'm not enjoying it. So let me know, because I'm definitely, that's going on my currently reading shelf right now. I might not DNF it for another month or two, but it's definitely, I'm not continuing on today. What I am continuing on with in my car is Ancillary Sword by Leckie. So this is book 2 in the, I think it's the Lord of the Raj series. I'm not sure. Anyway, but this is the second in the trilogy. I'm looking forward to this. I'm enjoying it so far. I've never read this one before, so this is a new one. But I have the audiobook in my car, and I have the physical here also from the library, so that I can track my reading. So I don't know how other people do that with their audiobooks, but I like to see where I'm at and count my pages that way. So anyway, but that's kind of what I'm doing that. And then for book wise, I'm either going to find one of my one of my Kindle reads that I have for my Sci-Fi September. So I'm not going to show it up here, because anyway. But I have 6 Wakes from Mur Lafferty, and then I have All Systems Read by Martha Wells, so a novella and a novel that I might pick up soon to continue with my Sci-Fi September stuff. But I really need to make an attempt to read the Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio or something like that. Again, Adam over at Memento Mori is doing a read-along. I'm way behind because I have not started this yet. I mean, I just started today. I don't do well doing a couple pages a day in a novel. I'm very much just plow through kind of thing. So I'm going to pick this up next. I mean, not, you know, at least by Monday I'm going to be reading this, and then give it a week and see how I feel about it, or, you know, give it several days and see how far I can get into it. It's like, you know, an 800-page behemoth, 850 pages. So I do want to read this. Again, this is one of those things where I'd never heard about it until he started talking about it, so I do want to read that. So anyway, so that is my mid-month wrap-up. Hey, what do you guys think? Any of these books sound interesting? Should I continue with The Sparrow? I'm kind of thinking not. So Anyway, hopefully you guys are having a good read month, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.